So we're not live streaming?
No, I'm doing both.
Okay, got it. Just tell me when we're all set. No rush. So, do you want me to go on or?
Yeah,
Okay,
mic's on.
just a little test. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome you to the only game of the afternoon here that we've had in about a past week where I've been behind the mic is Pope Francis Girls Lacrosse takes on the Northampton Blue Devils. I'm Don Percy here, the voice of the Cardinals. Northampton already off to a hot start, a 1-0. Caitlin Griffin, though, trying to fire a shot low on Northampton, the Blue Devils goaltenders. They already got the early lead out, 1-0 here. Quick offensive movement forward, and that's what led to their first goal. Pope had possession here for the first 2 minutes of play, but then Northampton one shot in, and they find themselves up 1-0 here, just about nearing the halfway of the first quarter. But while we've been away, it's been an onslaught of goals here behind the Pope Francis Cardinals team. Nolan Craven, the freshman, leading her team with 60 goals and 5 assists. A 65-point season. I mean, we've talked about it a bunch. It was Caitlin Ondrick leading with, I believe it was around 50 goals and 35 assists. She would always be leading the team with points. But this year, a freshman stepping in the quite big shoes to fill for this girls lacrosse team for Pope Francis. That shot there was indirectly sent over the net, but a freshman filling in some pretty big shoes, and she has taken the opportunity, and she has done a very, very good job with it so far, as she leads her team with 60 goals on the season. Another freshman, Ali Soja, with 33, also under her belt. Caitlin Griffin, senior, with 32 as well, and Jordan Ballant, senior as well, with 26. So certainly a couple of key goal scorers here for Pope Francis this year, as the official blows play dead right around the 20-yard mark. So while we're away, Pope Francis currently on a 9-6 record. Northampton, on the other hand, a very well season that they have had. 11-2, currently on a 6-game win streak. The last game that they did lose would come April 24th in a very, very close 8-7 loss against Wacona. And other than that, it has been just win after win after win. The most recent, a 14-13 win versus West Springfield, a little bit on the closer side. Pope Francis coming off a big 13-3 loss against Hoosick Valley. Looking to turn things around here as they were on a 4-game win streak beforehand. As they certainly look to keep things on the winning streak here. As we look at the MIAA power rankings, teams outside of the top 32 will hold a spot in a preliminary round game for the Division III state playoffs. As Northampton capitalizing on the opportunity and now making it 2-0 Blue Devils. As they've had a really good defense going here so far. Cardinals unable to get anything going. It was the first 2 minutes. They had a good cycling around zone time, and we saw them set up the unit before that they've always been setting up. But it would not go for them as Northampton easily and very quickly to pounce on the opportunity, and they have found themselves up 2-0 here in the first quarter. But as we said before, Pope Francis currently sitting outside of the top 32 for the MIAA power rankings. However, they do have above a 500 win percentage, currently sitting at 9-6. So they will hold a spot in the preliminary round. The question is, though, that they more than likely will be on the road for the preliminary round. And from there, it will also be on the road for the round of 32 and so forth on. A couple of quick goal scorers. Save made there by Zoe Shepard. So as we were saying before, Northampton good with the ozone opportunities here. As they've done a good job of ball possession in the offensive zone. A couple of key goal scorers for them. Michaela Fidenkovic, 39 goals, 10 assists on the season. And Amani Power Green with 40 goals and 22 assists. They're also joined by Tegan McDonald, senior, with 39 goals and 3 assists. As that shot there is save made by the Northampton Blue Devils goalie. As she has turned out to be just a great goaltender so far. Ainsley Dawson. As she has made 3 big stops here. Northampton with a burst of speed. Looking to get something going into the ozone, but I believe play is ruled dead here. So with 3:20 remaining in the first corner, Northampton will head up to the line on the 20-yard line and shoot and possibly make this a 3-0 game. But also on the other side, the athletic season spring sports save made there by Zoe Shepard as she has turned up a good couple of shots here in the early beginning of play. But as we said before, spring sports season starting to come to an end. Boys lacrosse currently at Central Catholic. Varsity game set for 6 p.m. will be an opening face-off. Softball canceled today, unfortunately. However, we did record, and I don't know if we have posted yet, girls softball versus, I believe it was possibly Hoosick. And we will be bringing you girls senior night, girls lacrosse versus Chicopee Comp Monday the 19th. Be sure to tune in for that, ladies and gentlemen. One of the biggest games that we will have here for the spring sports season. And then from there on, it turns into a little bit of playoff spring sports. Boys lacrosse, I believe, still are in the running for Western Mass. Unsure of where the game will be, though. The boys and girls track team is set to hit the road for the Division II Western Mass Championship Saturday the 24th. And that's an early meet that day at 9:30. But as far as boys baseball, currently holding the number 14 spot in the Division I standings with a record of 13-5. Springfield Central at 13-3, just 2 spots behind them at 16. But leading the charge is none other than it has been for the past couple of weeks. It's Taunton with a 14-3 current record, followed by St. John's with 14-2, and Bishop Feehan with 12-3. Northampton back on the ozone opportunity here, as they currently hold a 2-0 lead here. About a minute remaining in regulation of the first quarter, as Cadence Brameen trying to get something going for Northampton. So Pope Francis in a little bit of an odd scenario. They have not found themselves in a mostly defensive game, as that shot sails high and wide over the net. But as we said before, Pope Francis has not found themselves in a situation, or scenario rather, where they've been on the defensive side for the good majority of not just the game, but the good majority of the quarter so far, as they have played easily 10 minutes on the defensive side. The first 2 minutes of the opening quarter were by far the best, but other than that, not much has come to show for Pope Francis, as I believe we have a yellow card given out here. I believe that will be given to Amani Power Green, as she took a good whack at Riley Longo after the play. Ali Soja looking to get something going. Freshman, leading scorer among freshmen on this team, as it was Jordan Blount looking far side down the field for Nolan Craven. But with this, time will expire, and Pope Francis finds themselves down 2-0 at the end of the first quarter. So we'll step aside, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up when we return, the second quarter of action, live here on Pope Prep. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the second quarter is just about to get underway here, live on Pope Prep. Pope Francis in an odd scenario, as we said before, down 2-0, a situation that they have not seen before, and they certainly look to get themselves out of here. If they would like to keep this, certainly they will keep this above 500 record, regardless if they lose both the next upcoming games. But certainly you would love to go into the postseason at more than double-digit wins, possibly at 10 or maybe even 11 to 11-7 on the season. But for Pope Francis, they just have not had the offensive zone time that we've seen them have before. And I think that right now is a key thing that they are lacking here. As early on in the first minute, we saw first 2 minutes, they controlled a lot of this game. But unfortunately, they were cut down as it was just a lack of ozone pressure, really, that Northampton did a good job of doing. Ali Soja trying to work her way inside to the middle of the net. I believe play is blown dead, so Soja will head to the line and possibly shoot for what could be Pope's first goal of the game. All right, so halftime I'm going to play Billie Jean.
Is that normal?
As this shot right here, it's a goal by Ali Soja. So Soja cuts the lead to half here with 10:29 remaining in the second quarter. As Pope Francis certainly back onto the big offensive zone time here that we saw them before. As that's certainly what you like to see, especially a minute and a half into the second period, or rather second quarter. So I still think it's hockey here from the winter season. What a great run the boys and girls had going into the postseason. Boys unfortunately cut down in the Frozen Four. Girls, unfortunately, a 2-0 loss in the opening round of the state tournament. But both teams played such a great game throughout the season and throughout the postseason. Northampton, though, says otherwise as they look to get right back on the goal-scoring track, as they did not like the response that Pope Francis had with that one goal early on here. They now find themselves in a one-goal game with 10 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Northampton looking to get something going on the ozone. Michaela Fidenkovic trying to work her way inside to the zone, but she is cut down. I believe she will head to the 20-yard line. She could give Northampton back their 2-goal lead. As she shoots and she scores. So that is her first goal on the night, and Northampton with that regains a 2-goal lead. And Pope Francis down once again by 2 goals, as they are looking just for anything here in the opening 2 quarters of play. As immediately off the face-off, it will be Pope possession. As Nolan Craven looking to get something going. Gives the pass off over for Caitlin Griffin. Griffin over for Ali Soja. Soja, 34 goals on the season. Looking to make it 2 on the night. Passes over to Jordan Ballant. Ballant trying to go this way and that. She's getting boxed out by 2 defenders. Leaves the pass over for Caitlin Griffin. Griffin over to Soja shot. She scores. Ali Soja, her second goal on the night, 35th on the season. And she pulls Pope Francis back within a goal here. 8:54 remaining in the second quarter. And Pope Francis has found themselves right back in this game as they were before. But certainly this will come out to be a closer game than we may have anticipated here. As we look on the schedule right now on the athletic page for Pope Francis. So as we said before, Monday, girls lacrosse senior night. First opening draw is at 5:30, as well as softball versus Putnam at 4. And then boys lacrosse hits the road against one of the big powerhouse teams. It's Nauset Regional. And girls lacrosse will hit the road for a back-to-back game versus Chicopee Comp at 4:45 p.m. And from there, it will become playoff time for all the spring sports teams. As right now, only on the schedule, boys and girls track at Mount Greylock for the Western Mass Division II Championship. Amelia Champlain looking inside, trying to find Caitlin Griffin. Nothing would go for her, though, as she tried to fire off a quick shot. Caitlin Griffin looking for Ali Soja, who tried to get her third goal and tie it up, but she was shut down by Blue Devils goaltender Ainsley Dawson. As Northampton back on the ozone rush, looking to get something going here and regain a 2-goal lead. Blue Devils looking to get something going. Pass off over in front, low shot sailed just wide of the net. As Tegan McDonald looking to add on to Northampton's lead, but nothing would go for her as she missed that shot just shy of the left side iron. Northampton, though, regardless, still on the ozone time and still with offensive pressure here. As I believe that shot was turned over as Keely Gore coming back the other way for Pope Francis. Leaves the pass upfield for Ella Negron. As Pope with a burst of speed upfield. Negron looking over to the side for Caitlin Griffin. Nothing will go for her. Finds Melee Champlain down low. Back up for Ali Soja. Leaves the pass off over for Jordan Ballant. Ballant along the side for Ava Moltenbray. Looking down low for Melee Champlain. Instead, she finds Jordan Ballant back up top. As we said before, Pope Francis trying to set up a unit and find an inside lane. Northampton has done a good job of shutting them down so far. Caitlin Griffin trying to fire a low side shot off as that was blocked by the Northampton defenseman. And with that, Griffin is given a yellow card as she will head off to the sidelines. So Pope will play a man down. With 6:17 remaining in the second quarter. Northampton with a good opportunity to go up 2 goals. Nolan Craven trying to keep the Blue Devils attackman out to the outside. Northampton, though, over the 40-yard line now. Northampton trying to get something going. Low shot there, and they score. It was an offensive rush upfield. And with that, Tegan McDonald has her first goal on the night. As Northampton now leads 4-2 with 5:51 remaining in the second quarter. But regardless, a good game being played by far right now by both teams. Pope Francis a little bit lacking on the offensive zone time, and if that's one thing that you have to say, that's definitely one thing that they can improve on. But other than that, they played the offensive zone opportunities that they've played them pretty good. Not much to complain. Defensive side, though, a little bit of things can start shaping up for them, and they could find themselves easily within a goal or tying this game up late in this second quarter. Northampton trying to get something going back the other way. Looking to make it 3-goal lead now as Olive Little looking to fire a shot off, trying to dance her way inside close to the net. Says she'll settle back with it. Cadence Bremen. Pass back off over for Tegan McDonald. McDonald inside lane. High side shot, and they score again. Jenna Talbot now. Or excuse me, rather, Imami Power Green with her first goal as well. Goals coming all around for Northampton as Pope Francis now finds themselves down in what was a 1-goal game. Northampton has just expanded to a 3-goal lead over Pope Francis. Face off one up. Northampton looking to win it forward. Nothing would go for them, though. As Ali Soja trying to get ball possession back. Nolan Craven going to keep the tackman to the outside, forced a turnover, so this will be Pope possession. So Nolan Craven with possession leaves it back off on the defensive side for Keely Gworick. 5-2 the score in favor of the Blue Devils. Gworick, upfield pass for Ella Negron. Negron for Ali Soja. Soja looking upfield. No one there, so she'll cut back and try to buy herself some time. Laura Martins inside for Jordan Ballant. Ballant and no rush at all, looking to take her time here. Just outside the 30-yard mark. As Caitlin Griffin now back off the sidelines. Pope looking to get something going here. Nolan Craven gives the pass off over for Jordan Ballant. That shot, though, or rather a pass, was blocked as Claire DeRogers will pick it up. And I believe the official rule in favor of Northampton. So Pope Francis not liking that call at all. But regardless, Northampton comes out with it. Keely Goro looking to make a turnover there. Right around the 40-yard mark. Northampton coming back the other way with it now. Inside lane trying to fire a shot off low as that went off the outside apron of the net. Was Maya Berman Lejay. Green looking inside, trying to get her second goal of the game or possibly assist it. With 3:09 remaining in the second quarter of action. Northampton looking to get a redirect shot off as that one would bounce just wide of the net with 3 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Green around the back of the net now for the Blue Devils. Trying to look inside and find a lane. Shot high there by Maya Berman Lejay, and she scores as it is now 6-2 in favor of the Blue Devils. And this is something that they have done oh so great, is taking this lead and expanding upon it as we have seen in many, many of their games so far. As that is the reason why they have an 11-2 record, 6-1 in the Valley League. But as we said, coming off of a 14-3 close win versus West Springfield, Northampton looking to keep things way back on the winning track, as they are not taking it easy on Pope at all. Blue Devils back the other way again with 2 minutes remaining in the second quarter of action. Inside lane shot there by Tegan McDonald, and she scores with her second goal on the night, as Northampton has just turned this into a big 5-goal lead, as what once was a close game here early on in the second quarter has just become more and more out of reach of the Cardinals' hands. So with an even 2 minutes remaining on the clock, 7-2 in favor of Northampton, as Pope Francis looking to get out of the quarter with no more goals than they have already on the board against. Maybe 1 or 2 4 if things will go their way. Face off one up, Ali Soja. It's the pass upfield for Jordan Ballant. Ballant looking inside, trying to find Caitlin Griffin, who shoots, and save made. The rebound can't be picked up as Molten Bray and Griffin trying to scoop at it. Northampton is trying to get out of harm's way as they come back the other way. Green on the far side of the field, though, making a big 70-yard dash down field. On the back of the net for Margaret Little. Looking to dish it off over to the side for Maya Berman-Leger. 7-2 the score in favor of Northampton with a minute remaining on the clock. Pope Francis looking to get back onto the winning streak and looking to end Northampton's 6-game win streak. Will that happen? Or will Northampton continue and make it a 7-game win streak at 12-2 on the season? A big thing, too, that we have not mentioned, or maybe have mentioned just briefly, Northampton recently, as they just score again and again. But Northampton coming off of a decent season last year at 12-7. First game of that season would be a big 21-1 loss versus East Long Meadow. Certainly not the game that you like to see there. But unfortunately, they would fall in the round of 32 to Notre Dame Academy, 17-1. As Northampton right now making it look easy against the Pope Francis Cardinals, as they now hold an 8-2 lead with 30 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So Northampton right now currently sitting at the number 21 seed with 11-2, their record in the Division II rankings. A shot there and a save made by Zoe Shepard, as she'll more than likely wear the clock down, as Keely Gwarick looking to make a rush upfield, has to fire a shot off quick. 3-2-1 as she can't get anything going for her, as it was a good offensive rush upfield, but unfortunately it would not cut it as we head into the halftime. Pope down big, 8-2 the score, and really they're just looking for any answer here. Coming up, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have the third quarter of action. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Champions play here live on Pope Prep. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we are about set to start the third quarter of action here. 8-2, the Blue Devils lead so far here. Pope Francis is going to have to come out with a quick and a hot start here if they want any chance of getting back in this game as they find themselves down 6 goals. Ali Soja with a little step back there, trying to leave the pass up over for Ella Negron. Amani Power Green, though, said otherwise as she looks to come back the other way for the Blue Devils as she already has a goal on her belt, under her belt, rather. As Tegan McDonald leading with 2 goals on the night so far. As we saw, Pope Francis, there was a good couple of rushes on the offensive side. And just like that, Green with her second goal on the night. As not the start Pope Francis wanted without a doubt. 11:22 remaining. 9-2 the score now in favor of the Blue Devils. As this game is slowly running out of the grasp of Pope Francis. Add on, make it 2 goals on the night for her as she takes a step back and in no rush at all. So with 11 minutes even remaining, Northampton back on the offensive side of things here at Pope Prep. Again, in the D2 rankings here, a big powerhouse certainly is Northampton at 11-2, but West Springfield also climbing the rankings at 13-4, and 2 teams that you didn't think that you would see either. Longmeadow with a under 500 win percentage at 5-10 for girls lacrosse in the Division II polls, as that shot is a save made there by Zoe Shepard, and Keely Gorick will run it up the field for Pope Francis. And as we said, so Longmeadow at 5-10 at the number 8 seed, and East Longmeadow at the 7th seed with 11-5 the record. Keely Gorick looking to work her way inside of the zone, leaves a pass up over for Laura Martin or rather Ava Moltenbray, who shoots and scores. As Moltenbray, it was a good rush up the field by Gorick as she led the pass off for Ava Moltenbray. So Pope Francis now trailing 9-3 here with just under 10 remaining in the third quarter. Nolan Craven trying to fish for the ball up in the air as this will be Pope possession. Craven coming back the other way as she looks to get something going on the offensive zone. Pope Francis looking to get back into this game. A couple of good goals here would put them in a good spot for the fourth quarter. Moltenbray over for Ali Soja. Soja back for Ballant. Ballant looking to take a little step back and leave it off for Nolan Craven. Craven looking upfield, trying to find a pass or an inside lane. Ballant trying to set up a pick. Craven shot as that was, I believe, a low side shot, and she scores as she's got her first on the night and her 61st of the season. So Nolan Craven makes it 2 goals for Pope Francis in the last minute as they are now down 9-4 with 9:14 remaining in the third quarter. As Northampton looking to come back on the offensive rush here. As they look to get some Ozone momentum going, giving up the last 2 goals here in the opening 3 minutes. As certainly they've had a big response to Pope Francis scoring goals as they put up, I believe it was 6 straight from that stretch. Pope Francis once found themselves only down 3-2, but now they find themselves down only 9-4 now as they have rallied for 2 goals. Kaylee Gorick looking to work up field as she has done a good job on the offensive rushes from all the way back in the defensive zone for the Cardinals as Claire Rogers will hand the pass off over for the Blue Devils attackman. Amani Power Green now on the rush looking to make something happen here for the Blue Devils. Green with a little bit of ozone time here. Pope Prent trying to play lockdown D. Trying to work the inside lane and get a shot off is Fidenkovic. Couldn't find anything there, though, as it is just a scramble for it here at the 20-yard line. Northampton trying to give it up as Jordan Ballant going to play lockdown D here and keep the Blue Devil attackman Tegan McDonald to the outside, already with 2 goals under her belt on the night. McDonald looking to fire a shot off. Save made by Zoe Shepard. As Northampton still with some good ozone time here, as it's been a minute and a half straight without Pope gaining possession here. And you're trying to wonder if they get back into this game, how it will happen. I think it all starts here in the D zone, which they've done a good job of in the last minute and a half. Pass back off for Amani Power Green. Green looking to make something happen, find an inside lane. Instead, she finds McDonald on the far side, and with that, she has her 3rd goal on the night. So it's McDonald's hat-trick goal that puts Northampton up 10-4 now, with 6:38 remaining in the 3rd quarter. As with this, Pope Francis will take a timeout. So we'll step aside, ladies and gentlemen, with 6:38 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 10-3, the Blue Devils lead. When we come back, the remainder of the 3rd quarter. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, off of the Pope Francis timeout here as 10-4 the Blue Devils lead. Most recently off of the Blue Devils goal as it was Tegan McDonald who would make it 10-4 in favor of Northampton here. Now Pope Francis in a little bit of a defensive struggle here as we see as for taking the face-off for Pope Francis is Caitlin Griffin. As Northampton right back onto the offensive side of things, as they look to make it more than just a 6-goal lead here with 6:20 remaining in the third quarter of play. Northampton on the O-zone side of things. Low side pass off over for Amani Power Green. Green down low for Margaret Little. Pope Francis still with a good job in the defensive zone here, though. Michaela Fidenkevich looking to get something going. Pass over for Green. Green looking to work an inside lane. Nothing would go for her, though, as Riley Longo doing a good job on the defensive side. Green looking to fire a low shot, and she scores. As it was Amani Power Green with 3 goals on the night as well. Tegan McDonald and Green with 3 goals apiece. And that has propelled the Blue Devils to where they are right now with a big 7-goal lead over Pope Francis. As with 5:26 remaining in the third quarter, Pope Francis just looking for a break or anything that they can get going in the offensive zone. So Pope looking to get things going on the other side of play here. Caitlin Griffin can't get the pass upfield. Northampton will regroup with it now. Northampton along the sidelines. Amani Power Green looking up for Tegan McDonald. McDonald trying to get something going on the inside. Ballant broke up the play, though, and I believe the official will rule in favor of a shot for McDonald. I believe Ballant thought it was a good play, and by all means, it definitely was here. She did a good stick check right on the 20-yard line. Power Green looking on the inside, and as it was McDonald looking for her 4th goal. She couldn't rip the shot off fast. So 4:20 remaining in the third quarter. Hope looking to start out of their own end. Laura Martins trying to work it upfield as she is cut down at the 20-yard line of the Pope's defensive zone. Martins trying to get something going again, but she can't find an inside lane or a passing opportunity anywhere around, so Northampton will regain possession here. McDonald, along the top of the 20-yard line, looking to drive to the net, trying to fire a shot off as that sailed just high and wide of the net. Amani Power Green now behind the Pope Francis net. Green along the side. Trying to get the pass off over for Fidenkovic. And she did. She got the shot off, but the save was made by Zoe Shepard. Shepard doing a good job in net with the saves that she has made so far for Pope Francis. Long range pass off over for Green. Already with 3 goals on the night. Green and McDonald, 3 apiece. Pass around the back of the net for Fidenkovic. Northampton trying to find an inside lane as that shot there was turned aside by Zoe Shepard. As Northampton bobbled the pass, but they'll recover with it. Tegan McDonald trying to, I believe it was a drop pass from Fidenkovic over for McDonald. McDonald still coming up with the ball possession, though. Fidenkovic looking to find an inside lane. Going to make it 2 goals on the night for her, but she can't find anything going for her right now. Northampton still with the O-zone time. Pope got to get it out of the zone. Save made by Zoe Shepard, as she'll leave the pass off around the back of the net for Keely Gorick. Gorick with a burst of speed up the close side of the field. Leaves the pass off over for Ali Soja. Soja, Gorick looking to join the rush. Instead, she leaves it off for Nolan Craven. Craven looking for her second goal on the night. Stick check there. Craven still looking to come up with the ball. As Northampton still with possession in their D zone, nearing the final minute of play in the third quarter, as that was stick checked, and I believe it will be Northampton possession. Nolan Craven again with a stick check, though, as Northampton will gain possession once again. Northampton trying to work it upfield. Add on to this 11-4 lead that they've had so far. Not much action from Pope Francis. It's been Northampton killing time in their own O-zone, which certainly they have done a good job of it so far. So with 30 seconds remaining now in the third quarter, Northampton will look to just kill time. Trying to find an inside lane is McDonald looking for a 4th goal shot, turned aside. So 11.9 on the clock. McDonald up at the 22-yard line. Or rather, the 21-yard line. Going to make it 12-4. Shot into the stick of Zoe Shepard. Again, a big-time stop for her, as time will wind down here. 3, 2, and 1 as Gorick trying to make a rush upfield. But Pope Francis in a bit of a struggle here, down 11-4. Coming up, ladies and gentlemen, the fourth quarter of action. When we return, stay tuned. Champions play here live on Pope Prep. As we welcome you back, ladies and gentlemen, at the beginning of the fourth quarter of action here. Pope Francis down 11-4, a very, very odd situation that we see themselves in. Not very often do they find themselves down, and certainly not down by this much, especially late in the game, as they look to do some rallying here in the final quarter of action. Northampton looking to keep their win streak alive, as we said before, currently on a 6-game win streak. That shot fanned on there by Jenna Talbot. So Northampton heading to the line as they thought they would get a pass off, as that was redirected off along the side over for Amani Power Green. Green along the back over for Michaela Fidenkovic, as that was stick checked out of her hands by Keely Gworick. Martins looking upfield for Elena Grant, trying to get the pass over for Ali Soja, trying to scoop it up there. Instead, Northampton will come back the other way. Elena Grant looking to upend things halfway up the field. Nothing would go for her, though. Northampton still on the O-zone time. Ali Busa, or Busone, rather. Leaving the pass off over for Tegan McDonald, who already has 3 on the night. Inside lane trying to fire a shot off, as that was blocked, I believe, by the stick of Ava Moltenbray. So with 10 minutes remaining in the third quarter, Northampton regains possession. It's Amani Power Green looking to fire a low shot, and she scores. As Green with her 4th goal of the night. And Pope Francis now down by 8 here in the fourth quarter. So if the score holds, Northampton improving to 12-2 on the season, and Pope Francis will fall to 9-7 on the season, as they look for their final 2 games, back-to-back doubleheader versus Chicopee Comp on the 20th and the 19th. 19th, ladies and gentlemen, senior night here at Pope Prep. Be sure to tune in for that game, as we will have the senior ceremony pregame, and we hope for a action-packed game, as that shot ringed off the iron there, as it was a shot by Jenna Talbot, who was looking for her first goal of the game. Low shot there, blocked by Zoe Shepard, as it was Michaela Fidenkovic looking for her second goal, or rather, second goal, sorry. Looking over at the score sheet right now, as tallying up the goals here. Tegan McDonald leading for Northampton 3 goals, but up in front, though, Amani Power Green with 4 under her belt, as all the way out to play it was Northampton goaltender Dawson, trying to get something going for the Blue Devils. Instead, it would be a turnover created by Nolan Craven. Caitlin Griffin looking inside. Ava Moltenbray trying to back her up on the play. Instead, Jordan Ballant comes out with it. Ballant over for Griffin's shot. Save made by Dawson. Moltenbray trying to get something going now for Pope Francis. Inside lane, can't find Jordan Ballant, who was tripped up at the 20-yard line. And Northampton looking to come back the other way with it now, as they have a lob pass off. Couldn't connect. Keely Gork trying to scoop it up there, but she couldn't find it either, as Maya Bermain LeJay trying to scoop it up for Northampton. As Northampton arguing the play, though, Keely Gorick will come out with possession, passes it upfield for Jordan Ballant. Ballant over for Gorick. Gorick along the side of the field, trying to find an inside lane for, I believe it was Caitlin Griffin, who was hit in the back of the head by her own teammate with a pass, as she looks to get up. Now, she is okay. Caitlin Griffin back on the offensive side for Pope Francis. 8 minutes remaining in regulation. Soja looking inside for Ballant. Ballant trying to fire a shot off, but she couldn't find anything there. She'll still take it around the back of the net. We're going to get something going for Pope Francis here. Down 8 goals with 8 minutes left. DeRozier's trying to keep the ball in play. It's a scramble for it. Instead, Amani Power Green will come out with possession for Northampton. Green looking to add on, make it 5 goals of the night for her. She just fakes the shot, looking to dangle her way inside of the lane. Let's take a step back, though, and leave the pass up over for Cadence Bremain. Right around the 7-minute mark, nearly halfway through the final quarter in this game. Fidenkovic looking inside, trying to find McDonald for her 4th goal. Says she'll take it back herself. Fidenkovic inside lane, trying to find the pass-off. Save made by Zoe Shepard. The rebound all the way out to the 20-yard line, as taken down on the play was Riley Longo. Longo back up, though, trying to give the pass off for Keely Gorick. Gorick looking upfield, trying to find Claire DeRozier's. DeRozier's trying to make a play happen here at the 25-yard line. Instead, Northampton will come out with possession. Northampton bobbled the pass there, though. They recover it. Caden Brahman trying to find an inside lane, but I believe she was called offsides. As that shot was sent just wide of the net. Pope Francis looking to pick it up now, as Keely Gorick trying to give herself a lead pass, but instead it's picked up by Cadence Brahman. Back for Fidenkovic. So with 5:30 remaining, time still running. Pope down 8 goals here. As leading the way this year for Northampton, Michaela Fidenkovic, that shot there ringed off the iron, as it was a strong shot by who else other than Michaela Fidenkovic. But as we were saying, Fidenkovic, the sophomore, with 39 goals this season. Senior Tegan McDonald, 39 goals as well. And junior Amani Power Green with 40, as they lead the way for the Blue Devils. Craven's shot, she scores! As it is her 2nd goal of the game. And Pope Francis now within 7, with under 5 to play in the 4th quarter of regulation. So I believe we have a timeout taken here, so we'll step aside, ladies and gentlemen. Under 5 to play in the 4th quarter of action when we return. Back off the Pope Francis timeout here with 4:30 remaining in the fourth and final quarter of regulation as Pope Francis played a little on the defensive side. Ali Soja looking to work it upfield here for her second goal. Craven already with 2, Soja with 1. Bowen also with 1 as well. Soja trying to fire a shot off. Dawson was square to the ball to make the save. So with 4 minutes now left in the fourth quarter. Soja, the 17-yard mark, trying to find an inside lane. Cut down, though, by the Northampton Blue Devils defense. As Ballant trying to upend midfielder Tegan McDonald at near the halfway mark. McDonald still working with it upfield. Trying to create an inside lane and get something going. McDonald trying to find any sort of pass lane. Finds Fidenkovic, but instead she tries to pass it. And it's Ellen Agron who lost her stick. So with 3:15 remaining in regulation. Ellen Agron, far side of the field. Trying to find a lane up for, I believe it was Ava Moltenbray. Tegan McDonald. McDonald looking in for her fourth goal, and she finds it there as it is now 13-5 in favor of Northampton with 2:44 remaining in regulation. Pope Francis, not the game they have wanted at all this evening, as they now find themselves down by 8 goals here in what is the second to last home game of the season. Northampton looking to work it back the other way and get something going. Instead, Pope had other ideas. It's now Nolan Craven looking for her third goal of the night. She leads with 62 goals on the season for this Cardinal team. Moltenbray trying to leave the pass off over for Caitlin Griffin. Griffin upends a defender there. Northampton looking to come back the other way, though, as Moltenbray and Griffin both putting pressure on the Blue Devils midfielder. Stick checked out of her hands there by Caitlin Griffin. Nearing the 2-minute mark in regulation as Griffin down on the field again. As we have 2 players shaken up at the 30-yard mark. And I believe with this, Kaylin Griffin may be headed off the field for the remainder of the night. Pope looking to turn things around here. Nolan Craven got the pass off from Maylee Champlain. Jordan Ballant now at the 25-yard line. Looking to find an inside pass. Find Ava Moltenbray. Molten Bray along the 20-yard line. Minute 15 remaining in regulation. So this score will more than likely hold in favor of the Blue Devils. So Pope will fall to 9-7 on the season, and Northampton, with a pretty good run so far, will improve to 12-2 on the season, as it was a good night by the Blue Devils as they took the offensive opportunity and they made sure it would count against this Cardinal team. As the final 40 seconds now remaining in regulation. .30 seconds on the clock now. Northampton gaining ball possession here as it is sent back on the far side of the field for the final 15 remaining in the game. So Northampton will come out with the victory here at Pope Prep. Final score more than likely will be 13-5, unless they can jinx it and get a quick shot off, as yes, it will be 13-5, the final score here in favor of the Blue Devils. Cardinal postgame will give it to you right now. It was a good fought game by Pope Francis, but Northampton, at the end of the day, they wanted it more, and ozone time, it was just all in favor of them, as they would dominate this game from basically the majority of the first, or I should say the first quarter, the final minutes of the second quarter, and the entirety of the third quarter. As Pope really only saw some ozone time in the fourth quarter. But unfortunately, it would not be enough for Pope Francis as they fall 13-5. The final score here, as this is Don Percy, the voice of the Cardinals, saying so long from Springfield. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and have a good night.